I'm Teisha Bader with Shalom TV's news update from Monday, August the 4th, 2014. Two attacks took place in Jerusalem today. Both are being viewed as likely terror attacks. In the first incident, a tractor rammed a bus in Jerusalem, killing one pedestrian. 19-year-old Palestinian Muhammad Naif El-Jabis from the East Jerusalem neighborhood of Jabal Mukaber was identified as the driver of the tractor. He was shot and killed by police after he struck the bus and caused it to overturn, killing the one pedestrian believed to be 29 years old and wounding 6 others. And several hours later, in a separate incident near the traffic tunnels in the Mount Scopus neighborhood, an IDF soldier was shot by a suspected terrorist. The suspect, who was riding a motorcycle, shot the soldier several times in the stomach and then fled. The soldier was evacuated to Hadassah Hospital. He is said to be in serious condition. Police were in pursuit of the attacker. The IDF withdrew some of its ground troops in Gaza this weekend, pulling back its forces closer to the border with Israel. But the operation is ongoing. The IDF spokesman said of the move, as Operation Protective Edge moves to the next stage, we are redeploying to enable combat against Hamas and continued defense from tunnels. And IDF soldier Hadar Golden, who was said to be missing Friday and feared kidnapped, was declared dead on Saturday. The IDF chief rabbi made the declaration that Golden was killed in the Rafah area of Gaza. He was laid to rest yesterday, as were his 2 fellow soldiers killed in the same incident. The United Nations and the U.S. State Department harshly criticized Israel this weekend for the apparent shelling of a school run by the United Nations Relief and Works Agency. State Department spokeswoman Jen Psaki said in a statement yesterday that the U.S. was, quote, appalled by the strike, which reportedly killed 10 people. According to Reuters, the IDF said it targeted Islamic Jihad terrorists near the UNRWA school, which is in Rafah, the scene of heavy battles between terrorists and the IDF, but that it did not initially appear like the school had been hit and that the IDF was investigating. Meanwhile, Israel declared a 7-hour unilateral humanitarian ceasefire, which went into effect at 10 o'clock this morning, Israel time, in order to allow for relief in Gaza. The IDF noted that the ceasefire would function in most of the Gaza Strip, but not in Rafah, where troops are still operating. And rockets continued to be fired into Israel from Gaza throughout the day, despite the ceasefire, with 20 rockets reported fired into Israel. 2 IDF soldiers were hurt this evening by rocket fire near the Gaza border. And Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu spoke after meeting with senior security officials at the IDF Southern Command headquarters today, and said that the international community needs not only to strongly condemn Hamas, but also demand, as Israel is, that the rehabilitation of Gaza be linked to its demilitarization. He also expressed his deep appreciation to all of the IDF soldiers in the field for their fighting spirit under difficult conditions. The American Jewish Committee expressed its appreciation to Congress for approving additional funding for Israel's Iron Dome missile defense system Friday. The vote was passed unanimously in the Senate and in the House by a vote of 395 to 8. Providing an additional $225 million for Iron Dome. AJC Executive Director David Harris said, thankfully, Congress, in the spirit of its long support for the U.S.-Israel relationship, recognizes the essence of the ruthless Hamas threat to Israelis of all ages. Also on Friday, the Conference of Presidents of major American Jewish organizations criticized UN High Commissioner Navi Pillay for condemning Israel's actions in Gaza and condemning the U.S. for not providing the Iron Dome to Gaza. Conference Chairman Robert Sugarman and Executive Vice Chairman Malcolm Hoenlein said that while massive violations of human rights are taking place throughout the Middle East, Commissioner Pillay focuses only on one area of interest, noting that during her 6-year tenure, Israel was condemned 47 times, Hamas never. They said of Pillay, her actions and words further undermine the credibility of the United Nations Human Rights Council and make a mockery of its lofty ideals. A majority leader of the U.S. House of Representatives, Eric Cantor, announced that he is leaving Congress before his term officially ends. Cantor was the only Republican Jew in Congress and the most senior Jewish lawmaker in U.S. history. He He said in a statement Friday morning, "It has been the highest honor of my professional life to serve the people of Virginia's 7th District in Congress. That is why," he said, "it is with tremendous gratitude and a heavy heart that I have decided to resign from Congress effective August 18th. Cantor further explained that his early resignation would allow his successor a head start, taking office in November rather than in January. And turning now to our Shalom TV programming for tonight, Monday, August the 4th. Coming up at 8 o'clock, a panel discussion from the Hartman Institute in Jerusalem on innovating the Jewish future. And then at 9 o'clock, World War II veteran and Israeli activist William Langfan explains the duplicity behind the Palestine National Charter Resolution with Mark Golub on L'chaim. That's at 9 here on Shalom TV and shalomtv.com. And that's Shalom TV's news update from Monday, August the 4th, 2014. I'm Teisha Bader.